Dudes and dudettes, I am physically sick to my stomach. Poppy's Patina to pretend it, repair damaged, flaking, clear coat on an already smooth surface. If you wipe it on, no. Dudes and dudettes, welcome back to the channel. We are doing something today that we haven't done yet, and we mentioned it kind of off and on that we're going to try this one of these days. And then we got a customer that we did just a little bit of body work for. This particular rig is a 98 Silverado half-ton 3-door, and it's got the old Silverado General Motors clear cut falling off thing going on. It also had rusty rockers. We did a rocker here. On this side we did front and rear rockers for the 3-door, and then we did a cab corner, so that all turned out really nice. And then on the driver's side, we just did the regular rocker. It doesn't have a back door over here. And then there was a magnetic sign that had sat on the truck too long here. And this side had been painted once before. It's not pretty up here, but it's a work truck. And they want it to look nicer than it did. But it had rusty rockers here, so we patched in a new one there. This lower cab corner had been replaced recently, but wasn't done up to at least my standards, so we did some repair work there. We took off the moldings. There was a big rust spot in the door here from the molding and it not being cleaned up properly before. You know the story. And then we pressure washed the heck out of it. Well, we pressure washed the heck out of it first to see if we couldn't get all the clear coat off. That's what we wanted. We did not succeed. We've got chunks of clear coat here and there and just about everywhere. So bottom line is this: body work and paint work has been completed. It looks a little goofy because we've got the bed set up on some wheels and tires, because now, with Jalen's help over there, we are going to try out the old Poppy's Patina. So we got the, what do they call it here? Where's my bill? Nope, that ain't the right page. There it is. Because this is an oversized, it's not a regular standard cab pickup, we wanted to make sure we had enough. So we got the Land Shark kit. But in the Land Shark kit, you get 2 bottles of the clear, 2 bottles of catalyst, and 1 bottle, of the wax and grease remover. And then, I kid you not, guys and gals, part of the kit is they give you a bag of their old, I don't know, t-shirts and unders and socks and stuff for rags. So that's unique. And then these, I believe, are the applicator pads. We are going to do the wipe on. We are not going to spray this on. And then we have 3, I was messing around with 1, but we got 3 of these gray, they call them medium, kind of Scotch-Brite scuff pads there. So what it says is it needs to be cleaned first. And the bed has been sitting outside. It's got some bird dung on it, and then stuff that's been inside has been painted on, and it's all dusty and stuff. So we're going to take the whole truck outside, wash it really well, and actually it says to wash it with the scuff pad. So we're going to see how that turns out, because if you use this dry, and the reason I kind of wanted to test is you can see the red starting to build up in there already. I don't think with the 3 little pads they gave us that we would be able to get through this whole truck without clogging them up. So we're going to try it wet. I think we might have better luck that way. and then we'll wash it at the same time. Then after that, you mix it 8 to 1, 8 parts of the clear to 1 part catalyst, and you wipe her on. We're gonna mask stuff, of course, but yeah, we're really close to being done with this rig, and I'm real curious. You know, Poppies is the one company that says, hey, our product is perfect for damaged and peeling clear coat. So we're gonna try and get some of the loosies off of here, but yeah, I'm really interested to see just how the mixture of base coat, clear coat, peeling clear coat, and then our new paint, which is base coat only, and we're going to clear over it all. And crossing fingers and toes, it's going to have somewhat of the desired universal kind of finish, gloss finish to it. So anywho, I ain't going to fast motion you. We're just going to go wash this thing, and then we'll come back in and we'll turn cameras back on when it's clean. Next day alert. It's been washed. And maybe, you know, hindsight is what it is, but I might have showed you some of that washing. I bet for an hour and a half straight, I washed on this thing, here they are, using these medium density scuff pads instead of a wash mitt. And then what we did was we put, we used just like Dawn dish soap. And if you know, you know, that will help take off some of the other waxes and treatments and any kind of dressings and that kind of stuff that are on here. But yeah, so read the constructions if you get this from Poppies, because you don't want to go sanding or scuffing this dry. However, doing this wet and using this to wash, actually wash the truck and scuff at the same time, was the trick. You just wring it out just like anything else and it comes back to clean. Now, we did use all 3 of them on this extended cab truck, and you can kind of feel when the roughness goes away and you're not getting a good drag on your scuff pad. Either flip it over, or if it's all used up, go get another one. This is our last one. It's probably got a little bit of life in it, but not much. Now, the results, though, are pretty cool because, you know, and I know the old camera may not show it that great, but from afar and even from a near, it's all got kind of this scuffed finish to it between the clear coat that's peeled and the clear coat that's still there, and then the new painted areas that we did back in this area here, in this area, it all blends very nicely together, which makes me really optimistic that once we wipe on this clear, it's gonna look pretty good. So I'm pretty thumbs up right now, but we aren't done yet. Tailgate's done, everything's masked off except for the driver's door handle because we had to move it out and then back in. We swept the shop last night of most all of the dust, and then just now we wiped it down with what comes in the kit is the Poppies Patina wax and grease remover. We used all but maybe this much of the can of that. And now, one thing I did not do is I'm not going to use their included secondhand recycled cotton rags. When we wiped this down, we used microfiber towels, clean ones, and then you fold them up into 8s, and we'd wipe one panel down one way, flip it over another way, make sure it comes off nice and clean, and then go around the whole truck doing it that way. Went through about 3 or 4 microfibers, but I'm really pleased with where we are at as far as cleanliness and dustiness. I think the cotton rags would have left as much dust and particles and strings and cotton fibers and whatever else as they picked up, whereas the microfiber tends to pick up more, way more than it leaves. Enough about that. Concerns. We do have, I am a little concerned about a couple things. We went over it a couple of times and tried to get some of these loose areas where the clear coat is obviously not adhering, the old stuff. And even now I can scrape it up with my thumbnail. But at some point we might get some of these big ones again. But at some point, like I said, we gotta move on. So that is the one area where I'm gonna be watching very carefully to see how the poppy's clear coat, if it gets in there and flows kind of down into those loose areas and helps to keep them from continuing to lift up. That is really my only concern. Otherwise, I do think overall when we're done, the truck's gonna have a good general, same color scheme, same finish, and it'll really lively up the look of this whole rig for fractions of the cost of a whole paint job. And then we are going to time lapse for you, and I'll show you the actual process. Now, they give you the little applicator pads. We went to the Hardmore store this morning. These are the applicator pads, and got our little mixing jugs. So we'll mix some up here in about an hour, and we'll have our first coat of clear on this in less than 2 hours. 8 to 1, so 8 parts of the clear to 1 part of the catalyst. So you look on here and you can fill it either 1/3 or 2/3 or 3/3 full. We're going to go in the middle for our first batch right here. So we're going to go up to this first 2 with the clear, and then up to the second 2 with the catalyst. Mix it up with a paint stick, and that'll be ready to go. And then I think the plan is to start top down. We'll do the very top of the hood, and it says when you start wiping, you can't go back and make a correction or go back over something you've already wiped after 20 seconds. So we're gonna have to be somewhat quick about on the top, because we can't reach all the way across, obviously. I've got my little step stool here. We're gonna do this side, and then we're gonna scurry over to that side and do the other half of the top. We should, it's gonna be close to be in that 20-second window. I don't know how else you do it. So that's how we're gonna do it. In fact, I'll probably set up a step stool on the other side so it's ready as soon as we get over there. That's the only really concern about the application I have. One little note, they do tell you in the instructions to blow these off with compressed air, and we did that, and you can kind of see they've got a little bit of fuzz to them, and there was a decent amount of little stringies and doodads that flew off of there. So we blew all of our pads off. We're ready to go, and we're gonna mix something up. Yeah, and we will see you in the fast motion. Okay, first things first, one thing I don't like is when you mix it, there's bubbles in there, you know? I'd rather not have the bubbles, but they should go away under application here. Let's see. Dudes and dudettes, I am physically sick to my stomach. Poppy's patina to pretend it will repair damaged, flaking, clear coat on an already smooth surface. If you wipe it on, no. I've just created about 3 more days of work for myself. And, well, let's just show you. I could not be much more disappointed in how this turned out. So from here, looks like a shiny truck. The whole thing's, you know, covered except for one little corner, and I'll show you that. It's dry to the touch already. The stuff dries incredibly fast. In my opinion, too fast for this claim of wipe on. I don't know. Maybe on a rat rod or something where you can go over it once and you really don't care. But you can see you can see literally, like, you can see it in there. There's brush strokes from that applicator everywhere. Now it did seal up the clear, but it looks like brush strokes on every inch of this truck. On this side, I did a little bit more paint repair here and under here, and it re-wet the base coat under here really bad. In fact, so bad here that it got into the primer. I'm gonna have to repair that now. And then on the box, I don't know what's special about the box, but it's got, and I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got a different finish on the parts where there's still a little clear coat than on the base coat only parts. And it didn't do that on the hood of the truck. So bottom line, this was a huge fail. Had this been successful, this truck would have been out of my shop and back in the arms of a very happy owner by the end of the day tomorrow. I can't let it go like this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm not sure it's the right thing to do, but it's what we're going to do. We're going to get the spray gun out. It's going to require a bunch more masking that wasn't included in the labor, but either way, it's got to be done right. So we're going to get the spray gun out, and we're going to mask this back up. Well, we're going to scuff the entire truck again. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go get some scuffing pads because my lord. Anywho, we're gonna scuff the entire truck. I'm gonna fix that one little part where it wet back through to the primer, and then we're gonna try and seclude ourselves into a little bit of a situation where we can almost have like a, because that clear gets everywhere when you spray it. Yeah, we're just gonna have to try and cover everything up that we don't want clear mist on, and we're gonna spray another coat. Ironically, we did that whole truck, and you can only put this stuff on so thick, and it runs, and then it dries so fast. If you don't fix the runs instantly, aka thin down what you're putting on there, there's no recourse at all. I mean, there's still a couple runs here and there, but it does try to flatten out when it dries, but it dries so dang fast, and it's only 78 degrees in here. Oh, but yeah, we're gonna spray another coat on, and yeah, ironically, like I was saying, we didn't even go through half of our land yacht kit here. So I'm a little bit thinking that should have been sprayed in the first place. I think unless this is, we were debating doing this like on the international truck, and we may still do a wipe on that, because quite frankly, the whole thing's pretty, the whole surface is pretty rough anyway. It's already got brush strokes in it. It was literally painted with a brush, with a paintbrush red. But yeah, if you've got a smooth surface and you're simply wanting to put shine back into it, do not attempt this wipe on nonsense. It ain't gonna work. It just, and I knew it right out of the gate. That's the worst part, is, you know, as soon as we did half of the roof, I knew what was gonna happen. But I had a quart mixed up and it's got a pot life. So at that point you gotta say, let's see how it dries. And it did. It tried to flatten out. If it had a reasonable dry time of, say, 45 minutes to an hour, and I know that's risking it because a lot of guys are wiping this on, they're not doing it in a booth, but it dries so fast. As soon as you stop rubbing it on, it started drying. Applicator strokes everywhere. I'm gonna quit complaining. I'm going to let this sit now. I can't do anything for it for 24 hours. It's got to cure before I can scuff it. So that kills the rest of today. And it doesn't. I got other stuff. I got plenty to do around here. But I'm so irritated and angry at myself right now for even trying this that I'm kind of out of the mood. But I got to get back in the mood. Quit rambling, Jarrett. I'm going to update you. We're going to leave this in the same video. Maybe it'll have a happy ending. I don't know. We'll check back tomorrow. No wipe on Poppy's Patina to fix clear coat. It might work spray. We'll still find out. But do not ever wipe it on. See you tomorrow. Next day alert. Actually, next evening alert. You know, I just decided eventually we're gonna have to start investing in this stuff anyway. So we got the HVLP. We're not gonna use that on this clear, but then we got the HTE version of the Harbor Freight Black Widow. We've got a pressure regulator at the gun. We've got a water taker outer and oil and contaminants at the gun. So it's a little bit of a goofy setup, but should work. And then we sprung for the Spectrum universal paint system. So this is one of those, you have inserts for the cup and lids for the cup that are disposable. So that's going to work well, and it works with the little adapter that comes with the gun. So we're ready to go there. And then we came back and we scuffed every inch of this truck. It doesn't look great. There's one big run that we're probably going to end up wet sanding after all this anyway. Look at that battery right there. But we're scuffed, and I do think spraying this on is gonna, it'll go on a lot better. How it'll look in the end, I really don't know. Guys and gals, like I said, we've got 3 or 4 different variations of paint and clear coat and stuff on this truck. So we're just trying to get it to be uniform. It's still a work truck. It's not a piece of art, but it was unacceptable. I think you would agree the way it looked after the wipe on attempt. So we're all masked up. There's enough dust on the Fury that we're not too worried about that. And on the Ford project way back there, we covered the Bronco, we covered the Jeep trailer, all the quads and the Jeep are outside. And that's about as much precaution as we're going to take as far as vapor and mist goes. Overspray, that's the term I wanted. So I think we're about ready. It's a little warm. It's about 80 degrees in here. We tried to cool things off today, but it rained all day. And so it's pretty humid too. Not ideal conditions, but this is the heartland, guys and gals. If you don't have a climate controlled, fancy dancy, tens of thousands of dollars paint booth, you just got to take the best you can get. And today at about 9 at night, it's cooler. The humidity has gone down just a little bit, and we're gonna give it a shot. Okay, air compressors, build them back up. We're ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and mix. It doesn't say mix things different between wiping on and spraying on. So we're gonna do the 8-to-1. We're gonna mix about that same amount as we did when we wiped it on. It should have plenty of pot life. It's gonna fill our cup probably 2 or 2.5, 3 times maybe. We've got our pressure set on our gun to 35. The constructions for the poppies say 35 psi at a 1.4 tip. We've got a 1.3, so we might have to dial that down just a little bit, but we'll see how our test pattern goes first, and then we're gonna jump right on the roof and work our way down. Here we go. A couple days later, alert, we're still, it's gloomy and there's sadness. Beautiful day. It's the 4th of July, and this video is going to be late, so I'm not even going to pretend, but I hope everybody watching had a great 4th of July. Safe, fun, happy times. Yeah, we're still dealing with the wipe on clear coat debacle. Don't do it. Maybe if you spray it, had we sprayed it the first time, things may have turned out differently. Well, they would have turned out differently. I don't know if they would have turned out better, the end result anyway, but getting to the end result would have been better, because it wouldn't look like we painted the dang thing with a dust mop. So here's where we're at. We do finally have clear on all of the truck. We went and started spraying. It takes a ton more material when you're spraying, so we didn't actually get the whole truck done. Went to the neighboring community and I said, you know what, this clear coat stuff ain't that special, and I just bought some clear, mixed it up, and we did the last bedside with that over the previously wiped on, of course. So there's brush strokes in it. So overall, driver side of the truck is going to be easier to repair, and by repair I mean make look decent for our customer. Now, just to bring you up to speed, this was never supposed to be a 5-star show truck paint job. This thing's got clear coat that's peeling. We showed you all that. They expect it not to be perfect, but my lord, we can't give them something that looks like it's been painted with a freaking push broom. So here's where we're at. It's been about 40 hours since we did the wipe on, and it's been about 24 hours since we sprayed our last spray of clear coat, and we've started sanding. And I think we're gonna be able to get this to where we wanted it to be in the first place. And here's what we got. Let me get a light. The shop's just a disaster, guys and gals. We've spent probably $1,000 on extra tools and material and gadgetries and more paint guns, because I bought an HTE gun for the clear. Anywho, here's where we're at. So this is passenger side. This imperfection stuff here, that's all staying. That was here before. Now let's get to this bed. If you recall, this bedside is where we started, and it's thick, and the brush strokes are very visible. Now the clear was peeling on this panel along the top mostly, and then there's some pock marks from rock chips and stuff like that throughout. So we're doing wet sanding, 600 grit. We haven't burned through the clear yet, and we've got this looking pretty smooth here. Now we do have some pock marks. You can see them coming in there. Those are staying. Those were here when we got here. But here is what, and it's kind of exaggerated because I lightly wet sanded this. That's how bad, and don't talk about the sand marks going this way. I'm talking about the brush strokes going this way. That's how bad that would have looked had we just buffed this and given it back. Now this is me, and this is the wipe on. You're trying to put it on super thick. That's a huge run that will sand out all through here. But yeah, that's how bad it was. Here, let me get you a better light. Oh my gosh. That's how bad it was. So that's where we're at. We started that process. It really isn't going too bad, but you have to take your patience and take some time, because the last thing you want to do is burn through that clear, and that will result in sad thoughts and self-harm. This just totally screwed our month of July, and you know, it is what it is. But I'm not going to send it without meeting or exceeding the customer's expectations. So tons, dozens, if not hundreds of hours of additional work necessary to fix this. So again, and this isn't the last time I'm going to say this before the end of this video, do not attempt to wipe this on something that you're repairing the clear coat on. Ain't gonna work. There's just no way. That you can't keep up with the drying time, period. And spraying on, again, had we started that way from the get-go, maybe, but I'm starting to think, go to the paint store, go to your local paint provider, explain to them what you want to do, and just get regular clear. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the sanding. Happy 4th of July, everybody, and we'll see you on the other side of this truck. Okay, we're not there yet, but we're ready to get to buffing with the wool pad. And then we've got, where did I just bought this the other day, just because of this botched job, Ultra Pro Speed Compound Professional number 110 Meguiar's. And it's supposed to remove 1200 grit fine sanding marks, easily wipe off, zero dust, all that good stuff. You pair it with M210, which we do have, and you'll get show car results, it says. Well, we obviously aren't looking for show car results, but we do need results. Everything flattened out really nice. I didn't get any red off of this, so we're still unclear. There's some imperfections in the paint, and then up here is where the clear coat was peeling off. But overall, I'm pleased with what we've got going on. So we've been 600, we've been 1,000, and we've been 12 or 1500, I think. And now we're going to cut right into this with the compound. This is where I wanted this truck to land with the initial application of the poppies. And mind you, we've just gone through an initial cut, but We've got, you know, other than the blemishes that were there, the clear coat's sealed in now, so you don't have a mirror finish. But my Lord, we've got gloss now. You can see yourself in it. It doesn't look like it got put on with a paintbrush, and it should. Yeah, it looks so much better, you guys. You can go up and point. Look, there I am right there. See, that's that guy. That's the Jeep. And you got reflections and things. We're a little light here. We're going to hit that again with the cutting compound, and then yeah, this is going to work out great. We're going to polish after that, and then probably even throw a coat of wax on it just because. But this makes me start to feel better. Do I feel better about the actual product? Nope. Do I feel better about how I would approach this next time? Yep. Not going to be doing more of this work anytime soon, but eventually what I'm looking for, and tippy tap down below if you've had good experience or bad experience with them, but I'm thinking inflatable paint booth, something that we can put up, use, and take down the roads always, because I don't want to go through this again anytime in the near future. The only thing is that, you know, we've got a good start here. We've just got to now, you know, just the little steps left. We got to go around this entire truck. And some of it's going to require 600, some of it's not. A good portion of it's going to require all 3 levels of sanding, and then the buffing and the polishing. I'm not even going to fast forward this with music. I'll just see you on the other side. Next day alert, barely. It's like 11:10 at the night times. I just finished sanding the tailgate. That was my last panel. We've gone around this entire truck now, and it's dirty. We're gonna have to roll it out, run it out, and wash it before we start buffing. But every single inch of this Silverado has been sanded with 600 grit, then 1000, then 1500, so that tomorrow when we get back to going to You Pull It tomorrow, so that's always a good getaway. We need Freedom 1 stuff. Trailer races are like in less than 3 weeks, and we just decided today to go look at it. We're ready to rock on this. Tomorrow we'll get it cleaned up, and then we'll bring back some music and some fast forward laps, and we're on the road to recovery. But anywho, I'm gonna go shower, get some sleep. I'll catch you tomorrow. Well, I apologize, dudes and dudettes, but we had to just get to work on this, and I tell you what, it fought us tooth and nail. It's like 2 or 3 days later, we've been sanding and buffing and sanding and doing all kinds of nonsense to this truck. I think we're just about there. All we have to do is wash the outside and clean up the inside. But here's kind of where we're at, and I'm telling you what, you're talking easily 60 to 80 hours of additional work because of this stupid wipe-on product. But here's where we're at. It cleaned up, and yeah, there's a shine again. It's bright red again. Now we have our old peeling clear coat captured right in here and some other places. So the truck, the finish isn't perfect, but I'm gonna tell you, from 10-20 feet away, this is a good looking rig right here. It's been all debadged. Tailgate turned out real nice, you know, like here. This is pock marks and probably some sort of aftermarket fix before. As we went through and we're buffing and clearing and whatever else, I guarantee you there are parts of this truck that have 3 or 4 different types, styles, brands, chemical makeups of paint and clear and primer and stuff. And really, it's kind of a miracle, I think, that we were able to get it to where it is. Here's the other side where that sign was. The sign was here, and actually the sign helped this side, but you know, the clear separated underneath it. Hopefully our additional clear coating will keep all that in there. But yeah, it cleaned up pretty darn neat. These steps, I didn't think I'd like them, but we put these stainless steps on here. Looks pretty good. I think I left the aluminum trim off the wheel wells, and what I think I'm going to try and sell him on is getting some stainless, because you got a chrome bumper, chrome grill, chrome steps, or stainless steps, chrome bumper in the back. I think if you got some new wheel moldings and sprung for $50 more for the stainless ones, I think you'll have a really good looking rig here. We got to fix this guy. But we got to wash it. We've got a bunch of splatter and stuff. We got to wash the outside. We got to blow out the inside, detail the door jambs, all that stuff. And then I can finally text the owner and say, come get your dang truck. So let's recap here. And I thought about, you know, just letting it go. Here's what we got in our kit. And we've already talked about the fast dry time and that kind of stuff. So, you know, when you're talking about wiping on clear coat and dealing with paint stuff to begin with, it's all about cleanliness, right? You tack everything off, you use wax and grease remover, you do everything you can to keep the contaminants out of the paint. So the Popsicle Patina guys and gals, they send you just a plastic rag of somebody's old undies and wife beaters. They're all cotton, and that's fine, but look, right here. Here's a big old dust bunny right there on that rag. So I don't know what they want you to use this for, because anything you use to wipe this, it's going to leave behind dust. Okay, so let's move on. Let's look at these applicators. You would think that they would have some sort of a high-tech applicator, but this is just a piece of ordinary foam, and then it looks like they stitched some really chintzy cheesecloth or terry cloth over it, and you're supposed to blow them out before you use them to get all the particles off. But look, like this kind of stuff. This is your applicator. This is your applicator. How are you gonna get a clean application with this junk? And then you look at the dry time and the set time. You're just setting people up for failure, even suggesting, even on something like the binder truck out here. Maybe outside, I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would try wiping this on. Look how long this box is. You take one wipe from the front of this box to the back, and you're trying to be careful so you don't streak and so you don't leave runs and that kind of stuff. But yet it says you can't touch this clear as soon as 20 seconds after you lay it down. Well, by the time you get back here, if you're doing it right and being patient and doing it, you know, correctly, it's been 20 seconds. So now you got to go back up there and deal with it clinging and grabbing. It's just not feasible. I do not recommend it for, I'm sorry, any wipe-on application. I won't be doing it again. We are going to try a different brand. I've heard that Pliers Garage shine juice is maybe made by somebody else. It might be a different type recipe, but I don't know. I've never used side cutter shine juice before, but we might try it because you never know. You know, the Crescent Wrench garage people might know what they're talking about. Anywho, I think that's it for now. Appreciate you watching and hanging out for this one. I'd steer clear of it. That's all I got to say about it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Where's my vice grips? Catch you on the next video.